So good morning. So I'll just recall what we did yesterday. So we defined what is modular form of half integral weight. So I'll just recall some things, then I'll go proceed today. So we started with okay.
May I request everyone to mute themselves apart from the speaker?
Okay, so we start with mistakes. So gamma is ABCD, gamma 04. So I'll just recall what is the automorphic factor which we defined. J of gamma Z is the generalized quadratic residual symbol, epsilon d power minus half, epsilon d power minus 1, Cz plus d power half. Okay, so epsilon d square is plus minus 1. Yeah, this is, and then okay, so then we defined a modular form. So F, I just briefly explain. So we need this automorphic condition F bar gamma equal to J gamma Z power minus 2k minus 1 F of Z. Okay, so am I right? No, this is not the one. So what we need is F bar gamma is chi of df, where this is defined as J gamma Z power minus 2k minus 1 F of gamma Z. Okay, the J is this one whenever it is in group, and then we also define the more general group for the GL2 plus Q action. So G is set of all alpha phi of Z, where alpha is in GL2 plus Q, and then phi is a holomorphic function, where phi square Z is T into CZ plus D by square root of delta determinant of alpha, where T is fourth root of unity. T is plus minus 1 plus minus I. So then this projection is from this bigger group to, and then group action is there alpha phi of Z into beta psi of Z is matrix multiplication, and phi of beta is Z into psi of Z. So with this is a group multiplication. There are with this multiplication G is a group. Therefore, and then we whenever G also contains gamma 04 and its automorphic factor, the phi becomes J in that case. So this is a subgroup in G. Therefore, whenever an element belongs to gamma 04, then we take this as the phi of Z. Whenever G is alpha belongs to not belonging to gamma 04, we choose to take this phi of Z like this. T is anything. So with this definition we just introduced, and then one part was so F is a cusp form. This I will explain. Cusp form. If F vanishes at all the k irregular cusp, so k regular cusp. I am telling again k regular cusp. I'll just briefly explain what is the regular and irregular cusp. So I'll just first we'll go to the usual setup in the case of integral weight, how we define a holomorphicity or meromorphicity of a form at a cusp. Okay, so let us be a cusp of gamma 0n, and then take alpha in SL2Z such that alpha takes infinity to S. We take that one, and then assume that F is automorphic with respect to gamma 0n, F bar gamma equal to F, where gamma in gamma 0n. Then what you define is G to be a function F bar alpha. This then alpha is a function, a matrix in SL2Z which takes the cusp infinity to cusp S. I start with any cusp S. So when S becomes infinity, alpha is an identity matrix. So then G is invariant with respect to alpha inverse, let's say all gamma alpha where gamma belongs to gamma s, which is set of all gamma in gamma 0 n, which fixes yes. So the gamma suffix s means all elements in gamma 0 n which fixes the element the point s. So therefore, when I apply g to this one since already is f bar alpha, so g bar alpha inverse gamma alpha is nothing but f bar alpha, alpha inverse gamma alpha. So this becomes identity. This gamma is invariant and f bar alpha. So, therefore, g is invariant with respect to this is equal to g. Therefore, alpha inverse gamma alpha, g is invariant with respect to this, and also alpha inverse gamma alpha fixes infinity because alpha infinity is the cusp s and gamma s is s and alpha inverse of s is infinity. Therefore, this matrix fixes the cusp infinity. Therefore, this gamma infinity is of the form, so we know that therefore this implies alpha inverse gamma alpha is plus minus 1h01 power j, where j is any integer. So this is the gamma infinity. So this is therefore we know that now we have to use this particular information that I have to, because if we are working in a bigger group, all this calculation we have to lift it to the bigger group and then see what happens in this case. So what I have taken, so take the projection which is gamma 0 n tilde, which is the set of all gamma in gamma 0. No, not like that. So I'm not explaining. This is nothing but this is lifting of this group to G because I have to take the phi s to be J gamma s. So then P is the projection from this to gamma 0 n. So gamma J gamma s goes to, this is the projection map, and there is a lifting map which takes gamma 0 n to gamma 0 n. Okay, so we have this called this gamma tilde. So gamma going to gamma tilde. This is called gamma tilde. So this is one is lifting map, one is the projection map. So what I do corresponding to alpha, alpha is in SL2Z. So consider the lifting of alpha. So this is let psi be the lifting of alpha, that is psi is equal to alpha phi of z. Okay, and then I have the fixed group no gamma s, that also I can lift to this group G. So I have the, so I have psi, I have gamma s tilde, these two I have. So what I do, so consider this, then these elements, so this one I can consider alpha inverse is nothing but psi inverse gamma tilde alpha psi. Okay, this is the one, this belongs to the lifting of this one. So when I lift this one to the bigger group, there will be a root of unity coming into the picture because the holomorphic function p square z is becoming plus minus 1. Therefore, this is of the form plus minus 1h01 power j and p whole power j. So where p is determined by the lifting map. Okay, so that calculation, if you do that, so I can just start with this kind of matrix, then I can introduce this liftings, and then we have to compute this because I know psi alpha inverse gamma alpha is an element of is fixes gamma infinity. Therefore, I know what is the lifting of that one, and there is a lifting of individual lifting and multiplication. There will be a difference of one root of unity, that will be your t. So when you do the calculation, the t will be determined. Okay, now the same way, what I do, we started with G, F is started with an automorphic form with respect to gamma 0 n. In the case of Archimedean weight, I take same thing, F automorphic with respect to the element of gamma 0 n tilde, and then define G to be F bar alpha. Alpha means psi. So let F be such that F bar gamma equal to F for all gamma tilde. For this particular reason, I am writing the tilde, otherwise I'll remove it so that it is understood. Right? It is very difficult to keep track of this tilde star business. When needed, we'll introduce, otherwise you have to assume that we are working in half radian way. So then set G of Z equal to F bar psi. So that psi is nothing but alpha P of Z. Okay, then G is invariant under psi inverse gamma s tilde psi. Okay, and therefore and that already we saw that this is nothing but this type of element where this h is called the width of the cusp. Once you compute this h is the divisor of n. These are all the facts, and this the smallest h satisfying this property is called the width of the cusp. Okay, so h is determined. So this implies G is invariant under 1H01, T, where H is the divisor of n. Okay, this implies G of Z equal to G bar 1H01, T, and then when you do the action is that phi of Z power minus 2k minus 1 f of alpha z. That was the action of the stroke operation on any function. So in this case, t is the phi of z, therefore t power minus 2k minus 1 g of z plus h. Okay, that's what this one tells you. So now write this, the t power 2k plus 1 as e power 2 pi I r, where r is 0, 1 by 4, 1 by 2. This is fourth root of unity, so r can be one of these roots. So therefore, when you do this, this is e power 2 pi I r. This implies e power minus 2 pi I r times z by h. G of z is invariant with respect to z going to z plus h. Okay, because I'm just introducing this r by h because it is this because of this relation, this particular multiplication is invariant under z going to z plus h. Therefore, this function admits the Fourier expansion, the Laurent expansion. Then we discuss about the polymorphicity, meromorphicity of f in terms of the expansion of this particular function. So this implies e power minus 2 pi I r z by h. G of z is that you can verify. So that I just leave it as an exercise. So this you can verify into G of z is some Fourier expansion. Note that it is not q power n, this is e power 2 pi I n z by h. So the qh is e power 2 pi I z by h, qh power n. Okay, so this is the Fourier expansion. So we say that so this implies G of z. I can put this exponential factor on the right hand side. I get an e power 2 pi I. This is n z by h. This is r z plus h. Therefore, n plus r z by h. That is the expansion of G. Okay, so we say that f is meromorphic. So I have started with the function which is invariant with respect to the gamma 0 n action. For so those functions, I am defining the modular form that needed a polymorphic condition of f at the cusp. That's what I am doing that. So f is called meromorphic at s if an equal to 0 for at most finitely many negative n. So therefore, this expansion should not have too many infinitely many negative values of an non-zero. So it should contain only the finitely many negative part in that expansion. Then we say it is meromorphic if an equal to 0 for all n negative. F is called polymorphic at the cusp s. So that is called we should not have any negative term in this expansion. Then we say it is a holomorphic function. So if f is holomorphic at s, that means there is no negative terms in this expansion, and then further define f of s to be the limit of z tending to I infinity g of z. I take the limit, that is the constant term I want to compute it. So now check that one can check that if r is non-zero, when you do that, when you put the first coefficient that the non-zero, when it is holomorphic, all negative part will be 0. That only it starts with the a0. In that case, e power 2 pi I r z by h will be there. Okay. If r is not equal to 0, then f of s is equal to 0 because of the exponential factor e power 2 pi I r z by h, as z tending to I infinity, r is non-zero, therefore it will tend to 0. Therefore this the value of f at the cusp s becomes 0. So then if r equal to 0, then the first Fourier, that constant term f of s nothing but a0 e power 2 pi I r z by, sorry, what did I say? It is r equal to 0, therefore this goes away. So that, okay, so when f of s equal to a naught, therefore we do not know whether a1 is 0 or not. So therefore what we say that, now I'll just quickly tell that, sorry, cut, do this. Okay, if r equal not equal to 0, then we say that the cusp s is k irregular. If r equal to 0, then we say that s is k regular. That's what definition of a regular and k irregular cusps. Okay, so therefore when you have to compute this r means when I substituted here. Okay, so only when when r equal to 0 means t equal to 1. Therefore when you compute this particular calculation for any cusp s for gamma 0 n in the case of arc integral rate, unless t equal to 1, it is an irregular cusp. So for regular cusps it will become t equal to 1. Okay, so therefore note that irregular if t equal to 1. Okay, so otherwise we need more generally one can do that. Okay, therefore since because for, so therefore that is your function which is invariant under gamma 0 n tilde, and if a function f which is invariant under f, and if f is holomorphic at the cusp s, then f vanishes at s for k irregular cusp. That's what it says. So whenever r not equal to 0, the vanishing condition will not be there. Therefore that's what I told you, that when you consider gamma 0 4, it has infinity 0 and minus 1 by 2. So these are the three cusps, and then this will be k irregular. So for any holomorphic function, it will vanish at minus 1 by 2. Therefore we need only the vanishing condition for the rest of the two cusps. Therefore the codimension in this case is 2. So therefore we have to count the number of k irregular cusps for getting the dimension of the Eisenstein field. So this is some remark which we wanted last time, so I'm just explaining this. Now we proceed. So what was the other one we did? So we introduced the Shimura correspondence, that again recall Shimura map. So this Tp square is the k operator P not dividing n, P square P dividing n, IVR in gamma 0 4 n 4 divides n. These are the setup. So I am in S k plus half n chi. So chi is a character modulo n, chi is even. That also we saw that. So for half integral rate, we cannot have odd character for the space. Then for any f, for Tp square equal to lambda Pf for all p, and the f bar up square is lambda Pf for all p not dividing n, for all p dividing n. So then you considering, so then for any square free t integer, define the map St as follows. So you take the summation af of n q power n greater than or equal to 1 extends to St summation n greater than or equal to 1 summation d dividing n phi of d minus 1 over kt by d d power k minus 1 af of t n square by d square q power n. So this is what we proved last time, that by considering the Dirichlet series af of t n square and then using the multiplicative property of this Hecke eigen relations, and then one can show that this association gives a mapping from sk plus of n chi to s2k n by 2 chi square. So this is the Shimura map. Little bit more we will see at some point. Okay. Now we also saw the examples of E k by 2 k plus half f k plus half. This is corresponding to the cusp I infinity. This is corresponding to the cusp 0. So we define two isosceles series, and a linear combination of these is the Cohen isosceles series. Which is hk plus half of z is some constant time ek plus half plus some time. That explicitly it was then. I have to go back and see. And this belongs to, we saw that this belongs to the, which I will say that a subspace later defined by Cohen. It has some special property saying that the Fourier coefficients are non-zero only when minus 1 power kn is 0 or 1 mod 4. The property is that the nth Fourier coefficient vanishes whenever minus 1 power kn is 2 or 3 modulo 4. So that is the property for this Cohen isosceles series. Later, Cohen defined a subspace denoted by mk plus of plus 4 having the same property, that take any modular form of a level 4 in gamma 0 4 and assume that the nth coefficient vanishes whenever minus 1 power kn is 2 or 3 mod 4. Then he showed that it is a subspace, and then he characterized in terms of certain operator. So that's what we will do today. So most of the things today's talk will be based on, though many more general results are known, I'm just using the basic thing for gamma 0 4. Cohen's paper. Those who want to do more details, we take his first paper on this, 1980, to study. Okay, so we take n equal to 4 in this case, and then define m k plus half plus 4 to be set of all f in the space of modular forms of level 4, such that af of n is 0 or minus 1 4 kn congruent to 2 3 modulo 4. Okay, so then you take the cusp form to be the intersection of this with the cusp form space. So sk plus half plus 4 is nothing but you take this space plus 4 intersect with the cusp form. Sorry, here it should not be there. What is this? This is too much. I don't know, I should rewrite it again, that's better. This is too much. Now it will cut. This is too much, no? So m k plus half plus 4 intersection. I have to be careful in before writing. I should not hurry up. Okay, so we intersect with the cusp forms with this one, and then we kill this plus space. So the first proposition. So what he proves is that, so the fact which we will see later is saying that this is characterized by certain operator eigenfunction. Therefore, naturally this conditions will come. Okay, using certain operators, known operators in this case of modular forms, and also there is a Shimura map which I mentioned. So when I just a little bit modification when you do that, because here I'm for any square infinity I have this this one mapping definition. Because of the special property here with that only the minus 1 4 kn square modulo 4 coefficients only survive. Therefore, instead of any square infinity, I have to find fundamental discriminant. Okay, so I have to define a map depending on the fundamental discriminant rather than the square infinity. So what you showed that Because of this property, we just modify this particular mapping, and then one can show that in the modified one, the mapping sends modular forms of orthogonal weight in the plus space to S2K in n instead of n by 2. So that's what in the case of level 4, what we showed is that this space mk plus half plus 4, there is a mapping which is called as SDK plus, we will define it later, tends to M2K1. So the Shimura map sends modular forms of level 4 to level 2, but in this setup, it defines a space and then shows that the Shimura map sends forms this one to the usual elliptic modular forms of with respect to SL2Z. So slowly we will see proposition 1. What is the time? 11:53. I have one more hour. So K even integer. We have the space MK. MK is the space of modular forms of with respect to SL2Z. Sometimes I write bracket 1, sometimes I don't write, so both are same. Direct sum MK minus 2 is isomorphic to MK plus half plus 4. The isomorphism is given by take any form G comma H. I send this to G times theta, G of 4Z into theta Z. Theta is the classical theta function plus H of 4Z into the Cohen isosceles series of weight pi by 2. Okay, so this where okay, this is I'm taking H to be in weight K minus 2, and this is 2.5. Therefore, the multiplication gives you the weight K plus half. So therefore, weight matches, and then this is the combination. Given any two in this and that, I must first consider this G of 4Z times the classical theta. This has weight K plus half. This also has K plus half. Therefore, this particular one belongs to the space of modular forms of weight K plus half of level 4. So for K odd, a little bit we take MK minus 3, direct sum M K minus 5 is isomorphic to MK plus half plus 4. In this case, I take G H is close to G of 4Z into H 7 by 2. Instead of theta series, you take the Cohen isosceles series and H of 4Z into H 11 by 2. So here both the cases, both the functions are Cohen isosceles series. In this case, theta series and Cohen isosceles series. Also, the space MK plus half plus 4 is isomorphic to M2K of 1. They are same. This is M2K. I write both. Okay, and preserving the space of cusp forms. SK plus half plus 4 is isomorphic to S2K of 1. And on for K greater than or equal to 2, MK plus half plus 4 is given a direct sum in terms of the Cohen isosceles series. Codimension is 1 in this case, and the plus space of cusp forms. So you look at this, you must have, if you have seen course on modular forms, we know that the space of modular forms of weight 2K can be written uniquely in the as a sum of the isosceles series of weight 2K plus a cusp form of weight 2K. The similar condition in this case also comes. Because of this isomorphism, naturally expect that this plus space also should have the same kind of decomposition, one coming from cusp form and another one is a multiple of isosceles series. Okay. So what?
Hello.
Hello.
Sir.
Yes.
I have a small question.
Yes.
So earlier you wrote MK direct sum MK minus 2 and MK minus 3 direct sum MK minus 5, right? So what is the difference between those two spaces? Can't I just choose my K appropriately and just
that's
make,
what I'm talking. When K is odd, no. If I see this, I need an even integer, no, for modular form to survive.
No, sir. Here, okay, sir. But if suppose I want M4 or M6 direct some M4, and then can't I just choose my K appropriately here in the odd
You are
case
asking about this,
to get
this second case you are talking about?
No, sir. I'm saying in the first case and the second case, the left hand side, I don't see why they are different.
Meaning?
So
How
meaning
can I
that
consider MK when K is odd?
No, sir. I can choose a different K, right? So
See, you can give a different proof. What I'm saying is what Conan did. Okay, so if you are modifying this one, you try your best. Okay, I do not know, since I didn't try this kind of thing.
okay.
So your thing is that I can adjust the same thing one can do for the K alt case. That's what you are saying.
Okay. No, sir.
You can try and prove.
I was looking only at the left hand side, but at the right hand side also there is a K. So yeah.
No, because see, the MK plus of space is there when K is odd or K is even. K is any integer. You should know that.
Yes. So yes, I
Okay.
missed that point, sir.
Yeah, MK plus of that same space, but when parity of K matters, no? When I put this condition
Yes.
-1 4 K n, when K is even, n is 2 or 3 mod 4. Otherwise, when it is odd, when it is 2 or 1 mod 4. Therefore, it is not always 0 or 1 mod 4 survives, depending on K. So this condition is crucial. So therefore, there is the space is completely different. Fourier expansion is different depending on the parity of K. When K is even, I have only 0 or 1 mod 4 exactly coefficients. When K is odd, I have 0 and 3 mod 4 coefficients. Okay, not 1. There is a difference. Therefore, one has to do this. Okay, so whatever the space, now he characterizes in terms of certain operators, which are already known operators, which defines one is the U operator, which is already there. Take operators for prime P equal to 2, which is summation V modulo 4 F bar 1V04 2 power half with extra automatic factor I have to take. So no, not like that. See, I think better I have to be careful here. Got it. So this is 1 by 4 summation. After applying the operator, this is f of z plus b by 4. Okay, so if I put the stroke operator, this constant I have to take care. So and then f bar, the first time I've introduced the Atkin ladder involution, or this is the Friquet involution in this case, is minus 2iz. When I describe this new form theory, these operators will show up, the W operators. At that time, you will understand why these things are there. Okay, this is the Friquet involution. On gamma 04. So because when n equal to 4, I am taking, therefore I take W4. So both operators U4 and W4 preserve the space Sk plus half 4, and then the Diva showed that this U4 W4 is Hermitian operator. This is proved by Niva. So these things are already known. Of course, this Hermitian everything property with respect to the Peterson scalar product. Okay. Now also, so this is the operator. It satisfies the quadratic polynomial on the space of cusp-forms of weight level 4, which is also U4 W4 minus alpha 1. You can decompose this into two eigenspaces, eigenvalues. Alpha 2 equal to 0 on Sk plus half 4. Therefore, when I consider this one, if I expand it out, it satisfies the quadratic equation U4 W4 square, some constant time U4 W4 plus some constant equal to 0. Therefore, one can find the roots alpha 1, alpha 2, and this is satisfied for any function f1 s plus sk plus of 4. So here alpha 1 is given by the Kronecker symbol 2 by 2k plus 1 into 2 power k, and alpha 2 is in terms of alpha 1 minus half alpha 1. So one can compute this one. So then because of this alpha 1, alpha 2 eigenspace, the whole space is decomposed into eigenspace with respect to alpha 1 and alpha 2. So therefore implies sk plus of 4 is decomposed as sk plus of 1 4 direct sum sk plus of 2 4. Since I am talking about the Peterson scalar product and they are Hermitian operators, it has two eigenvalues. With respect to alpha 1 eigenspace, this is the alpha 1 eigenspace, and this is the alpha 2 eigenspace. Okay, I just call bracket 1 and bracket 2. So that is the first one. First one, we'll see that this is proposition 1, and proposition 2 We'll give a sketch of all these things. Okay, I cannot give full proof, otherwise it takes a lot of time. 4 is equal to, when I take the plus space, this is the alpha eigenspace, alpha 1 eigenspace. So the alpha 1 eigenspace is the plus space, and I have the orthogonal complement. So we'll just see step by step how it is proved. Step 1, the maps are injective maps. First we shows that these two maps are injective. That is easy to see. The maps defined are injective. And dimension of M2K1 less than or equal to dimension of MK plus half plus 4. How will this prove this one? And injective means you assume that if G of 4 is Z, theta is Z. I just prove this case K even, otherwise other same proof is similar in the case of odd. So we take the first one, H of 4 is Z, H 5 by 2 of Z is identical to 0. Assume that, and then I need to show that the kernel is 0. So and assume that H is not 0. And if H is not identical to 0, then one can divide by H. This implies I have G by H of 4 is Z equal to minus H, I take input the cell, minus theta of Z by H 5 by 2 of Z. Am I right or wrong? So by divide by H, so it is the other way. Minus H 5 by 2 Z by theta of Z. So now note that this function G by G and H are modular forms of, though different way, they are modular forms. Okay, so note that G by H of 4 is invariant with respect to Z going to Z plus 1 by 4. This we can verify. Okay, if I change of variable Z going to Z plus 1 by 4 and use the fact that G and H are modular forms of weight 2K, one can show that this ratio G by H is of 4 is invariant with this action. However, this H 5 by 2 of Z by theta of Z, if you look at the Fourier expansion, one can say it has a Q term in that. So this implies this is not invariant, not instead of cannot that this is not invariant, but it is cutting off. Again I have to do this. Cut. So this implies this function is not invariant under Z going to Z plus 1 by 4. Therefore, on one side I have an invariance, on the other side I don't have invariance. This is a contradiction because I assume H is non-zero. This implies H is equal to 0, a contradiction. Therefore, it is an injective map, and similar argument in case of odd. Similar argument for KR. Okay, so that is the first part. So injectiveness. So injective property gives you, so injectiveness implies the dimension of MK plus half plus 4 is always greater than or equal to dimension of MK plus MK minus 2. In the case of K even. The K odd case in a similar way. So now dimension formulas are known on the right hand side. So use dimension formula to show that. So use dimension formula for MK1 to get the RHS dimension is dimension of L2K. So dimension of mk plus dimension of ak minus 2 is nothing but a dimension of m2k. Therefore, this first step is done. So dimension of m2k is always bounded above by mk plus of plus 4. That comes from the injective property. So this is the step 1. The step 2 is, so mk plus of plus 4 is contained in the alpha 1 eigenspace. So first we saw that this is nothing but the alpha 1 eigenspace that already mentioned here. Though I wrote this one, I can put it in the, this is nothing but, this is set of all f in mk plus half 4 such that f bar u4 w4 equal to alpha 1 f. Okay. So the proof is again so much of calculations involved. I think you have to go carefully. I'll just briefly tell what is the idea behind that. You take f in mk plus half plus 4 and then you write f bar u4 w4. u4 w4 preserves the space. I write it as f1 plus f2, where I use the definition of u4 and w4, where f1 is 2 power k minus 2 plus 1 by 2. That for u4 operator I divide into 4 parts because it is v modulo 4. 2 of the things I keep it in 1 and 2 for shift to the f2. So that's what the idea. So this is f bar 1101 1104 comma 2 power half plus f bar 1304. So 1 and 3 modulo 4 you take it in one side and then apply the w operator. So this is the part of the u of operator and the number. So the f2 is the remaining two. f2 is 1 by 4 f of z by 4 plus f of z plus 2 by 4. So after applying, I am getting this because of the constants gone. So bar w. So I am just rewriting u4 w4. Expand u4. There are 2 4 representatives. This is 1, 2, and 3 4. So 1 and 3 I keep it in the first one and apply w4. 2 and 4 I keep it in the second term and apply w4. Now one can simplify the first one. So you just say that 2 power you put to the 2 power the other side. So 2 power minus k plus 2 minus 1 by 2 f1 is f bar 1104 2 power 1 by 4 and then apply w4 plus f bar 1304 2 power 1 by 2 bar w4. So w4 is already this matrix transformation which one can write in terms of the matrix action. So this is exactly the, so w4 is 0 minus 1 4 0. I put a tilde that whatever the phi z comes from this transformation. So okay, 0 minus 1 4 0, that is a matrix along with some function will be there in the function of z that is exactly given using this particular one. One can make it out from the action of w4. Okay, so that is w4 operator. So when I do this multiplication of two matrices, so this becomes f bar. I'll just write this one 1 0 minus 4 1 star. So the star means lifting of gamma 04 element. Tilde means it is lifting of GL2 plus element. Into 4 minus 1 16 0 tilde. So the first part is like this when I multiply with w4. Second one is f bar minus 1 1 minus 4 3 star into 12 minus 1 16 0 tilde. Okay, so first two elements are in gamma 04 element, therefore the usual automorphic factor will come. You have to adjust this multiplication using the group multiplication. Now f is a modular form of level 4, therefore it is invariant, therefore the first part goes away, the second part only remains. So therefore this calculation gives you 2 power minus half into these things. I think I will write and then you have to work it out to get it. F of z minus 1 by 4 plus I power minus k into 1 minus I f of z plus 1 by 4. Okay, this big bracket and these two terms become like that. And then when you simplify this, these two terms, this turns out that 2 power minus 1 by 2, it is 2 into 2 by 2k plus 1 into f of z. Okay, so, and this is nothing but I or k square plus k. So all these things one has to do that. So for getting this one needs to use that minus 1 power k n 2 mod 3 or modulo 4 implies af of n is 0. Whenever minus 1 power k n is 2 or 3 mod 4, the coefficient vanishes, and use this one to show that this is nothing but f of z. The same thing is used to prove the following: f of z by 4 plus f of z plus 2 by 4. If I do that, this is f2 times f for u. So the second part f2 is there, f of z by 4, f of z plus 2 by 4. That if I calculate using this again same fact that the half of the coefficient vanish, this exactly gives 2 times f bar u4. So combining these two things, so f bar u4 w4 written as f1 plus f2. F1 we calculated, f1 is some constant time, f again, and f2 is again constant time f bar u4. u4 w4, actually inside one only I wrote, there is a w4 outside, so this f2 is u4 into w4. This implies f bar u4 w4 is half f bar u4 w4 plus 2 power k minus 1 into 2 by 2k plus 1 times f. So I can just rearrange this. Therefore, f is an eigenfunction. This implies f bar u4 w4 is alpha 1 f. Alpha 1 definition is already there previously. Let I write somewhere. I wrote alpha 1. Yes, this one. Okay, so 2 power k into 2 by 2k plus 1. So that 1 by 1 extra factor 2 will come. That is the 2 power k into 2 by 2k plus 1 f will be there. So when I bring this to the left hand side, there is half of this one multiplied by 2. I get this 2, this one exactly. Therefore, if f is in the, we started with f in mk plus of plus 4. That property we use to in this following relation. So this is where we use f is in the plus space by definition, and then we showed that it is indeed in the alpha 1 eigenspace. So that is the step 2. The step 3 is mk plus of the 1 space is given by the Cohen isosceles series direct sum cusp form of the plus space. So the alpha 1, the 1 means alpha 1 eigenspace. Alpha 1 eigenspace is exactly the Cohen isosceles series times a cusp form in plus space. Okay, so what is the time? I think I 12:15. Okay, so by step 2 we have hk plus half. It is in the plus space, and plus space is contained in, that's the step 2, right? Contained in one space. Therefore, this hk plus half belongs to mk plus of 1 space. So there, and then if f is a modular form, okay, one can find a lambda constant which is nothing but the value of f at infinity, such that the combination g equal to f minus lambda hk plus half vanishes at infinity. This is a usual trick. So h will not vanish at infinity. This has a constant term 1. Therefore, if f vanishes at infinity, you take the f that has the value at lambda. So the f modular, no. So therefore, the constant term f is lambda. Then it cancels out. Then g vanishes at infinity. Lambda is nothing but the constant term of the Fourier expansion of f. So then g will vanish at infinity. This implies, and also both are eigenfunctions under alpha 1's eigenspace, because mk1 is nothing but alpha 1 eigenspace. Yes, plus space also is alpha 1 eigenspace by step 2. Therefore, both are eigenfunctions with respect to alpha 1 eigenspace. Therefore, this implies g bar u4 w4 equal to alpha 1 g. Okay, this implies, I put to the other side g bar w4 equal to G bar W4. I apply W4 and alpha 1 to the other side, 1 by alpha 1 G bar U. So I apply W4 both the sides. The square is identity. Therefore, left hand side becomes G bar U4, right hand side becomes alpha 1 G bar W4. Therefore, G bar W4 is 1 by alpha 1 G bar U4. Now note that W4 is a matrix 0, minus 1, 4, 0. It takes infinity to cusp 0. Therefore, the left hand side gives the expansion of G at the cusp 0. And I know that just before G vanishes at infinity. Since G vanishes at infinity, the right hand side will not have constant term. Okay. G vanishing at infinity implies right hand side also vanishes at infinity. That gives you the vanishing of G at the cusp 0. So this implies G vanishes at 0. So there are only two regular cusps, and both the regular cusps G is vanishing, therefore G is a cusp form. G is a cusp form. Okay, that is when I take G, this linear combination becomes cusp form. Given any F in MK1 space, MK plus of 1, 4, I can always write it as an element of the plus space times HK plus R. Okay, and let me see why G belongs to the plus space. Yeah, plus means alpha or eigenspace. The other way it is not true, no? Yeah, plus space is also contained in that. So 1 contains plus also. Therefore, G is also a plus space form. Therefore, so since G is an alpha 1 eigenspace, the alpha 1 eigenspace contains the plus space. Therefore, implies G belongs to Sk plus half plus 4. Okay. Therefore, this Mk plus of 1 is contained in this. So this implies. So next is step 4, the dimension 1. So dimension of Mk plus half 1, 4 is less than or equal to dimension of M2K1. So previously we saw that M2K1 is more than the previous one. What is the dimension equation? Yeah, M2K1 is dimension of M2K is greater than or equal to less than or equal to Mk plus of plus 4. Here it is greater than or equal to Mk plus of 1, 4. Similarly, this for Sk plus alpha. Okay, so for that he uses the isomorphism of Niva. So Niva showed that there is an isomorphism between Sk plus of 4 to S2K of 2. This isomorphism computes K operators. So these kind of isomorphisms are constructed by computing the traces of K operators on both the spaces and comparing the trace formula. If they are equal, then it follows that there is an isomorphism between these two spaces. This computes with the K operators. So first we show that Sk plus of 1 is not mapped to new form. So therefore, under this one, so Sk plus of 4 contains 1 and 2, right? That's the whole decomposition. I have two eigenspaces. Okay, one eigenspace. Where did I write? When I do that, where did I write? 1 and 2. The whole space is, I think I did, where did I write this? The whole space is consisting of alpha 1 eigenspace and alpha 2 eigenspace. The first step is here to show that this isomorphism does not take this kind of one eigenspace into the space of new form, because it is mapping to the S2K2. It has a new form and old class is level 1 and its duplication. So the first one is that. So claim is Sk plus half 1, 4 is not mapped to the new form. Okay. So this implies, so that I'll assume this one. Okay, now everything proving is difficult. So assuming this implies we have if f belongs to sk plus half 1 4 ak eigenform, then if I apply this Uveda's isomorphism psi, then it is given in terms of ak eigenform of level 1 and its duplication. So constant time capital F plus some constant time f of 2z, where f belongs to S2k is a normalized ak eigenform. Okay. This is the first step, and then next one he shows that the f1 f2 are eigenforms in sk1. So the multiplicity 1 result. So multiplicity 1 holds in sk plus of 1 4. What does it mean? If I have two ak eigenforms here, if f1 f2 belong to sk plus of 1 4, such that f1 and f2 have the same eigenvalues for all pp square, then c times f1 is c times f2. Therefore, this eigenspace generated by these two are the same. Therefore, that means what does it mean? It has multiplicity 1 theorem. So two eigenforms cannot have same eigenvalues. Therefore, if I have the same eigenvalues, you look at f, the eigenvalues of this one and this space is same. So, therefore, I have a dimension 2 space here, whereas if I take a Hecke eigenform, the dimension is here because the multiplicity 1 theorem holds. This implies because of this particular property, f bar psi is something constant times capital F, where f belongs to S2k1. So this is what it says. Okay, so you take an isomorphism. So sk plus of 1, first of all, you prove that it's not a new form, and then that means it belongs to the old class. And then once the old class is having dimension 2, and show that multiplicity 1 holds in the alpha 1 eigenspace, therefore it cannot be mapped to this particular direction. So therefore it should be going to one of these things. In fact, it goes to the level 1 Hecke eigenform. So next theorem, quickly go through the theorem, but so big theorem is there. This talks about Hecke operators for p equal to 2 also he defines, and Hecke operators for p odd is same as tp square in the general case, and then shows that there is a map between the space of modular forms of half integral weight belonging to the plus space, which maps to M2K. So the big theorem statement. So we have briefly I will mention TP square is TP square P odd. So I take the same operator whenever P is odd, and then P equal to 2, it defines P plus 4, a different operator. In terms of the Fourier expansion, you take the same Fourier expansion. So this character is not defined for all things. So this symbol is defined as a character modulo 8, where the numerator should be 0 or 1 mod 4. Okay, if it is not, then the symbol value is 0. So it is not the usual character. So plus 2 power 2k minus 1 af of n by 4 the whole power q power n. So here I have to put minus 1 power k n congruent to 0 or 1 mod 4. That condition will be there. So both the operators preserve the plus space. P plus p square for all p preserve mk plus half plus 4, and then preserve the cusp, and then sk plus half. If it is a cusp form, it will be a cusp form. It is a non-cusp form. It is a non-cusp form. And they are Hermitian. Therefore, one can find a common eigenfunctions with respect to all the Hecke operators. And then, if so, therefore implies mk plus half plus 4 as a basis of eigenforms. Okay, so if f equal to summation a n q power n, and capital F is summation AFN q power n. So for a given F in mk plus half, I write this before, there exists an F belonging to M2K such that this should be coming after that. Okay, such that as F and G as in the Fourier expansion, we have are related as follows. This is the giving the mapping of these two, how to define the correspondence. So dB, a fundamental discriminant. Fundamental discriminant means a discriminant of a quadratic field such that -1 power k d positive. Then you take the L function, special value s minus k plus 1 of this Dirichlet character d by dot. D by dot is a character modulo d when t is a fundamental discriminant times summation af of mod d n square n power minus s n equal to 1 to infinity is nothing but af of mod d summation af of n power minus s. So it is exactly the Shimura's decomposition. Instead of af of t n square, you have to consider, because in this case only the 0 or -1 power k d positive and -1 power k n is 0 or 1 mod 4 coefficients only survive. For those values, you have to take the Fourier series. So all other coefficients are 0. Therefore, you consider this Dirichlet series and proceed as in Shimura's case. And then what we showed was that this is nothing but this L inverse times the Euler product case. So he proved a similar one in this case of plus space. Further, so there only the t by dot will be there. Here it is the discriminant will come. That is the main difference. Further, if the d pair dk is not equal to 1 0, when k 0 d cannot be 1, the map SDK plus defined by, so there I think Shimura map is ST I wrote, K is, I think whether you keep it or not, it's not matter. Here these mappings are indexed by the fundamental discriminants, so D will be there. The plus denotes that this is mapping is applied to only the plus space. Okay, it's defined by, you take the Fourier series B of n q power n greater than or equal to 0, you map to. So here he defines a Shimura map for modular form, non-cusp form also. You take the constant term by 2, take the special value, that is the constant term of the image. The other one is same, d by d, e power k minus 1, b of mod d n square by d square q power n. This maps mk plus half plus 4 to m2k1. So preserving the cusp form. That is natural, because when b0 is 0, then it takes cusp forms to cusp forms. Okay, it commutes with the action of Hecke operators. And there is a linear combination of SDK plus, which is an isomorphism. So we don't get one single isomorphism, Shimura map which gives an isomorphism. That is because, see, this map is non-zero only when the dth Fourier coefficient of f is non-zero, because the image is a multiple of as of mod d. So therefore, we do not know for all Hecke eigenforms we get a uniform d for which it is non-zero. Once you get for a basis of the full space, if you can get a uniform fundamental discriminant for which these coefficients are non-zero, then one can show that one map is an isomorphism. Otherwise, there will be different discriminants for which the different eigenfunctions will be non-zero for this particular. Suppose if I take fi, then I can find a di such that a fi of mod di is non-zero. So therefore, if a collection of fundamental discriminants for which a fi is non-zero, af2 is non-zero, etc. Therefore, one can find a linear combination which gives an isomorphism. So therefore, single map will not be there. Here it is replaced by a linear combination. So one can check that. So verify. Easy to see that this h k plus half bar s dk plus is nothing but half times L of 1 minus k dy dot, that comes out, whatever the constant comes out, times the normalized Isenson series 2k of z. So the Isenson series, Cohen Isenson series under this Shimura-Cohen map. So this is called the Shimura-Cohen map. So that we call, to distinguish between Shimura and Shimura, the plus space map. So we refer to this Shimura-Cohen map. SDK plus. Okay, so to distinguish between these two different mappings. So there is a difference that these maps are indexed by fundamental discriminant, whereas the Shimura map is indexed on square fidelity. So it remains to prove only the mapping property for cusp forms. So how he proves that mapping property for cusp form? Because we already saw that this mk plus of plus 4 is given in terms of the Cohen-Isenson series plus a cusp form. Under Cohen-Isenson series, under this map is sent to E2k. Therefore, we have to show that it takes the cusp forms to cusp forms. So take the case D0 mod 4. So write D as you makes use of the Shimura map to prove this mapping property. So take 4D, where D is 2 or 3 modulo 4, D square free. So take F in Sk plus half plus 4. So Shimura says that F this is also contained in Sk plus half full space. Therefore, I can apply the Shimura map on F. So apply the Shimura map F bar S small d, which is nothing but summation d is there. I will use another index in the inside sum. Summation j equal j divides n 4d by j power k minus 1 b of b here I can put a f, no problem, mod j n square by j square mod d into q power n. So this belongs to S2k 2 because F is a cusp form. Shimura map extends Sk plus of 4 to S2k of 2. Now note that F is in the plus space also. So note Af of n is 0 if minus 1 power k n congruent to 2 3 modulo 4. Therefore, this implies whenever n is odd, take any n odd coefficient, then the nth Fourier coefficient of f bar sd is 0. That you can look at this one, because whenever n is odd, so the d is 2 or 3 mod 4, therefore these coefficients are 0. Therefore, whenever I take n odd, all these coefficients are 0. Therefore, this will become 0. Therefore, this map nth coefficient is 0. This is exactly the property that is also one can see that the f bar sdk plus is nothing but if I apply the Shimura map on D and then apply the U2 operator. So this can be verified, can be checked easily. Just use the Fourier expansion for U2 and one can show this. So therefore, this is true only when D is 0 mod 4, remember that. So this means, so f bar sd, nth coefficient is odd, therefore this function, okay, has the property that its n odd coefficients are 0, therefore this can be, already it is a modular form. The modular form whose odd Fourier coefficients are 0 can be given in terms of a modular form, and z going to 2z. So this is written as some g bar b of 2, where g is S2k. Okay, so this is again one can use the integral weight, I think, properties to show that since the odd coefficients are 0, it is given by the duplication of g by z going to 2z. So no odd coefficients are there. Then B2, if I apply U2, that is the identity. B2 is nothing but, so B of D operator is nothing but z going to D z operator. Remember that. Therefore, B of 2 U2 is identity. Therefore, when I this one write as a function of S2k, function S2k bar B2, that goes away. This implies F bar SDK plus belongs to S2k. That's all mapping property. So therefore, for the Cohen Ising series maps to E2k, and the cusp forms map to a cusp form in weight 2k. Therefore, mapping property is proved and other things are also proved. And then he shows that for any Hecke eigenform, one can always find a fundamental discriminant for which this coefficient is non-zero. So he proves in a lemma saying that given a Hecke eigenform, so fact is that I'll mention 1238. So fact or lemma, if f belongs to sk plus of plus 4 is a Hecke eigenform, non-zero I have to put always, then there exists a fundamental discriminant capital D with minus 1 power k D positive, such that AF of mod D is non-zero. So therefore, one can get a take the basis of Hecke eigenforms. For each eigenform, we find a fundamental discriminant for each this coefficient is non-zero. Therefore, one can use linear algebra to get a linear combination of these Shimura maps, which gives an isomorphism. Okay, so this is the major part of this Conan's theory in the case of level 4, how he describes this subspace in terms of an operator arising naturally. One is the Hecke operator, another one is the Fricke involution. You take the combination of this U4, W4, it satisfies a quadratic equation on the full space. You take one particular eigenspace, that exactly becomes the plus space, which is defined in terms of the Fourier coefficient. And then one can modify the Shimura map in such a way that it takes forms of level 4 to level 1. So another division of factor of 2 goes away. Usually the level 4 goes to level 2 on the Shimura map, but here for the subspace it goes to level 1. And also he shows that multiplicity 1 theorem is true in this case of alpha 1 eigenspace, and one can get an isomorphism. These two spaces are isomorphic. All these things proves. Therefore, these are the things which situation is like that. It's taking the sk plus half level 4 is isomorphic to s2k 2, and I have a subspace sitting in this sk plus half plus 4 is isomorphic to s2k of 1. It's also a subspace. In fact, this space is exactly s2k of 2 is decomposed as s2k of a new forms and then old class, where the old class is s2k old 2 is s2k of 1 direct sum s2k of 1 bar the duplicate operator b2. So therefore, this has decomposition where this plus space is mapped to one of the decomposition in the space. Therefore, I have the level 1 form, its duplication, and the orthogonal complement. This will be the orthogonal complement. With respect to the Petersen scalar product, we have a new forms of level 2. Therefore, this is mapped to one of the direct sum decompositions of the S2K2. Okay, when I talk about new forms, I will just describe about our work which we extended for the full space. Okay, one can also talk about new forms of half integral weight forms, not necessarily the plus space. So where we will use this one. Okay, that is one aspect is done. In another how much minutes? Another 15 minutes. I don't know whether I think we can see this proof. If not proof, I think I'll just mention. Maybe if time permits, we'll continue tomorrow. 2 divides k. The image of the restriction. So take the even weight case. The image of the restriction of we take the d equal to 1 case, 1 comma k plus, because k equal to even, I can take d equal to 1. That's what I told. There should be minus 1 power k, t positive, so t square free. So therefore, I can take t equal to 1 in this case. It is also a fundamental discriminant. Okay. The restriction of this to sk plus of plus 4, okay, is generated by those normalized Kk eigenforms G in S2K such which satisfy. So he is now talking about one particular mapping. Okay, we know that these two spaces are isomorphic under a linear combination of Shimura-Conan maps. But now he is saying that fixing a particular map S1K plus, if I restrict this to the plus space, this restriction is generated by those normalized eigenforms of G, is satisfy the condition that the L value of G at S equal to K is non-zero. Satisfy L of Gk is non-zero. So this is the L function associated to G. So LFS, I remember the Fs is nothing but summation AF of n power minus s. Note that. This is my notation L. Here I write L suffix G. So some people write L suffix F. So doesn't matter, but you should know what is the definition. Okay. So it is an isomorphism S1K plus is an isomorphism if and only if LGK is non-zero for all normalized K eigenforms G in S2K1. So that is another next theorem he proves. For that, he makes use of a result of Zagier, and then which is nothing but a generalization of Rankin's idea. So let me see how much time I have. Can I go up to 1 or what I?
Yeah, I think because you started 15 minutes, I mean, delay.
Okay, I'll go up to 1 and then I'll see how it goes. Okay. So the proof uses, so proof of this result uses a result of Zagier. So this is, if you refer to lecture notes in mathematics, I think what is that, 627. This is the volume 6 of modular forms of one variable. Okay, where he generalizes the idea of Rankin. So which is a generalization of a method of ranking. So this method is generalized to many setups that is called the Rankin's method. Okay, referred to as Rankin's method. Okay. Okay, so we will just see how this one should go. I think we can do this. So Zagier's theorem. So Zagier, the special case. So take n is either 1 or 4. So n equal to 1 means we are talking about the integral weight forms. N equal to 4 means we talk about the half integral weight form. You take the weight k2 always an integer. K1 is always an even integer. If the level is 1 and K1 is a half integral where the weight is even plus half if n is 4. So even k plus half where k is even, that's what you are taking. And suppose that k2 is greater than or equal to k1 plus 2 and it should be greater than 2. And then let ek2 is that be a normalized isosceles series of weight k for gamma 0 n. So one has to define this is K2 means it is an integer, therefore it is an integral weight Isonson series. And then in this integer, I think I'm taking level 1, or we are talking about gamma 0 n. You have to take the usual Isonson series of level 1. So normalized Isonson series and the integral weight. So don't, the usual way we define it. So let G of Z be the Fourier expansion Bn q power n is a modular form of weight 1, weight k1 on n, and f is Fourier expansion A of n q power n in k1 plus it should be s, cos form of weight k1 plus k2 of n. Then what you do, you take the inner product of f is a weight k1 plus k2 form. I already have a k1 form which is g. I multiply by ek2, so that I get a g times ek2 is a modular form of weight k1 plus k2, and since this is a cos form, this inner product makes sense. So this is modular because the Isonson series and a modular form, and this is a cos form. Both are having same weight k1 plus k2. Then this he showed that up to some gamma factors and constant, it is the Rankine convolution of f and g. That's what Rankine proved. So then in special case, it is done by Rankine, and he generalized this 4 pi power k1 plus k2 minus 1 summation n equal to 1 to infinity a n b n bar by n power k1 plus k2 minus 1. So this is the result of Zagier. He makes use of that. So let S2k 0. So many superscripts are there. You have to keep track of these things. This is equal to span of all this G in S2k1 such that G is a normalized K eigenform such that L of Gk is non-zero. So take all the G for which the L function value at S equal to K is non-zero. You collect all the G and then span the space. But there is that spans a subspace, not necessarily the full space, because therefore it is the subspace of S2k. You call it as S2k 0. The claim is, he claims that this space S2k 0 is contained in, when I take the plus space, we apply the S1 map. So that contains this particular subspace. So just briefly sketch this, how he proves that. So we'll now take Gk equal to the, not the normalized means this has the Fourier coefficient, Q coefficient is 1, rather than the constant term 1, zeta of 1 minus k plus into Ek. Ek has the constant term 1, but I multiply this so that no, the Q coefficient of this 1. That's why he takes the normalized in a different, this is mk. So GB is a normalized K eigenform, and then use this property. So check that if I take the summation sigma of n, b of n, n power minus s, I can write in terms of the multiplication of the following Dirichlet series: summation n power r, b of n, n power minus s, times the Riemann zeta function 2s minus r minus 2k plus 1 inverse. So therefore, when I consider this particular product, the Fourier coefficient, product of 3 Dirichlet series, one is this Riemann zeta inverse. This is true for real of s greater than r plus k plus 1 by 2. So that is the first thing he observes that. Then using the Zagier's lemma, this one he shows that actually it's not Zagier's lemma, it should be the Rankine's. Actually, when you take G also to be an Isonson series, that is the work of Rankine. So if you look at it, so by lemma, Zagier's one is more generalization. So G is any modular form. So we take G comma gr into G2k minus r So G is a form in S2K. GR is a level weight for K form. This is weight 2K minus R. Therefore, product has weight 2K. So therefore, this is nothing but minus 1 power R by 2, 2 power minus 2K plus 1. The special value of the L function, L of G at 2K minus 1 into L of GR. Okay, so the right hand side is product of the L values of G at R and 2K minus 1, and this is true for all even R with K plus 2 less than or equal to R less than or equal to 2K minus 1. So that is the Rankine's formula, and then he shows that this, though this is true only in this range, is also true then R equal to K. That is what we want. Okay, LG of K we need. Okay, therefore the whole relation is true even when R equal to K. Therefore, when I take G times GK and GK square, actually G comma inner product of GK square is minus 1 power K by 2, 2 power minus 2K plus 1, LG of 2K minus 1 and LG of K. Now, since LG of 2K minus 1 is non-zero, and the Hecke algebra acts on M2K with multiplicity 1 because it has an eigenfunction with multiplicity 1. That is true in this case. It follows that this implies GK square generates G2K direct sum S2K 0 1. Okay, as a module over Hecke algebra. But what he uses, which I am going to tell from yesterday, I have been, the last lecture onwards, I have been telling the special property of the Shimura map. It keeps on coming in many words. Okay, now he makes use of another result. So, but take the GK of 4Z, multiply by theta of Z, and then apply the Shimura Conan map. This is nothing but GK square of Z. Okay, you remember that the Shimura property which I mentioned with as observed by Selber, if f is a Hecke eigenform, if I take f of 4Z and theta of Z, apply the Shimura 1 in, this is given in terms of f square plus constant times f square of 2Z. So this is what Selberg's method, which we will see at one lecture. Okay, but here in the case of, look at the left hand side is a plus space form. Okay, if any given any f, this is another one observation one should know, that these functions are belonging to the Conan's plus space. Okay, so this gives you the special property of the Shimura first image of certain +1 form belonging to the Conan's plus space, and this one is exactly, when I apply the Shimura Conan map, this part goes away because this doesn't belong to that space. Therefore, GK square. Okay, f square is exactly GK square. This is observed a direct computation. That's what he says. One can work it out. So, okay, this implies Sk plus of plus 4 bar S1K plus contains S2K 0 1. Okay, and then reverse also he uses, make same kind of things he uses. Therefore, one he gets the following with this theorem. The theorem is proved. Mainly these are the main ingredients in the proof. So the theorem says that when I take the plus space, okay, if it is the restriction, if I apply to this particular plus space, if I take the d equal to 1 Shimura Conan map, apply on this one, this image is exactly the image is generated by the Hecke eigen, normalized Hecke eigenforms whose L function value at the S equal to K is non-zero. So that is another interesting thing. In the coming lectures, what we will do, so one is about, I told you, but this one property keeps on coming. So this will see how it works. Very elementary calculation. There is no hard this one calculation are there. Very only the multiplicative relation of the Fourier coefficients. That is the only thing you use, and then one has to do some manipulation. We get the result. It's very easy to see. This particular one we will see, and the next one is next lectures. So again Conan's work. These are all for n greater than n is 4. Okay, so n equal to 4 and n is greater than 4, 4 divides n. So that, okay, then new forms. And then this again this Shimura map, Shimura Conan maps. And then the W operators play a role. And then comes the Shintani lifting. And then he constructed a kernel function which gives you both the Shimura and Shintani liftings. One can easily prove that, explicitly give Shimura and Shintani liftings. Explicit Shimura and Shintani lifting. And then using this to get explicit Walsh-Bridges theorem. Okay, so you'll see what are the generalizations along these lines. Yes, brief generalizations in this direction. Yeah, depending on the time, I think we will see more results. And this, along with the Shimura Conan map, that Shimura mapping property that we will see in one. And probably we'll just talk about this W eigenspace also. The W operator is also very nice one. So one can talk about the W eigenspace. You started with the U4 W4 eigenspace, which gives you the plus space. One can also take the UP small WP, which is exactly up to constant, that UP WP operator. It also has some eigenspace. It also has a plus minus eigenspace. There is also nice property about this WP operator. If time permits, we'll go to this. Okay, so we will go slowly. That next one will be what are the generalizations Conan did in this direction, and including the new form theory, and then how he constructed a map from the reverse direction. Shintani did it independently. After that, in the context of giving a mapping which is compatible with this Peterson scalar product. So if you take which is adjoint of Shimura map. So that is the work of Zagier in case 1, and then we generalize that also. So that Conan's work, and then using this Shimura and Shintani adjoint to each other with respect to the Peterson scalar product, one can get, using the new form theory, an explicit version of the Walsh-Bridges theorem. So those things are already known for the level gamma 04. Everything was generalized for gamma 0, 4n n r square 4n n r square 3 in the beginning one. That's what we'll see. And then we'll see how far these things are generalized and other results. If I can collect all the things which I know, I can present them in the future lectures. Okay, I think today I will stop.